Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is March 5th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery, and you can see here how this cold air is just spilled off across the Gulf of Alaska and is spawning these little low pressure systems here with this troughing over the Pacific Northwest. Some snow falling across eastern Washington, lower elevations this morning, upper level low over western Oregon there. A few sun breaks across western Washington this morning. We'll see if we can hang on to some of those through the afternoon coming up here. This upper level low and this troughing is going to be hanging out here for the next couple of days as well. Continuing to spread some showers and mainly some mountain snow there. Outside chance of a thunderstorm as well. Now, taking a look here at current hazards, you can see just a little bit for eastern Washington currently right now, but down towards southern Oregon, there's still some winter weather advisories, even some winter storm warnings in effect. Same thing for some eastern portions of Idaho and a little bit for Montana there. But you can see winter weather advisories still included across some of the higher terrain of Idaho and Montana as well. Now, taking a look at this, there is that little bit of a thunderstorm threat, and they do kind of highlight that mainly along the Oregon coast there, but it's not out of the realm of possibility you can get one up towards southwest Washington and western Oregon during the day today as well, and possibly again tomorrow. We'll see how that trends in tomorrow's forecast. Now, taking a look at my weather station here, I get a lot of questions about weather stations, so I want to address this. This is an affordable option here, this Tempest weather flow. The temperature and the barometric pressure are really accurate. The wind is actually really accurate too, and the solar radiation and the UV index matches up with my Davis on the much more expensive station there. So this is a very good option if you want an all-inclusive weather station. It's all solar powered. You don't have to add batteries, and it broadcasts right to the internet. It stores all your data for you and everything. So it's a really nice station, and you can see all these people that have them. You can click on individual stations. As you can see there, I clicked on Vashon Island here, and you can see all their data. You can go to their station and chart out their data as well and see what the temperature is and whatnot. And if you don't want your station online, you can choose that too. So anyway, I thought they'd point that out since I get so many questions about what weather station to buy. Now, taking a look here, back to the weather, you can see that we are dealing with this big trough across Pacific Northwest, 500 millibars shown here, and that's why that upper level low sits off our coastline here, and this is going to hang out for a couple of days. Here we are going into Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, even a bit of a reinforcing shot there, and finally starts to move out of the area here. So we might warm up a little bit here, but you can see that cooler air is still just to our north, trying to creep out over the Gulf of Alaska and trying to spawn some more systems that would be impacting us here. So we'll see how this trends, but it doesn't look like a huge warm up by any means, but maybe a little bit warmer than what we've been dealing with. This is looking at the NAM3KM composite reflectivity. You can see that snow band that was across eastern Washington this morning, upper level low across Oregon, really getting the higher terrain with some nice snowfall rates there. You see it try to move up tonight into this evening and into tonight across southwest Washington a little bit here. The upper level low spinning there, and it starts to move north during the day tomorrow. And there could be a thunderstorm threat with this low pressure system that moves up tomorrow. We'll have to watch that in tomorrow's forecast as well. That's kind of what I'll be watching for with the little, I might drive out and try to catch a lightning strike if it starts to uptrend a little bit, but nothing too extreme showing up. But you can see then another upper level low still spinning off our coastline as we go through Tuesday here as well. This upper level low taking its sweet time to get out of our area here. Now, taking a look here, this is the NAM3KM, and I'll put this all the way out. And you can see there is the potential for some more snowfall as we go through tomorrow for eastern Washington. I wouldn't expect much for the lowlands of the Willamette Valley or the Puget Sound as of right now. But if you get some elevation, some of these showers could fall as snow. And you can see some pretty good amounts across Oregon as that upper level is spinning across the area there, including some of the Blue Mountains, Idaho, Panhandle, and Montana as well, northeast Washington. East slopes of the Cascades could get a few inches here as well over the next couple of days. So that's something to look forward to on there in eastern Washington. This is looking at lightning flash density potential. This is the European as of last night, and it does show this potential as you go through the afternoon today for some of the area here, but just kind of a slight, random scattering here. So I wouldn't, it's not a big signal here. It's not something to get too worked up about as we go on in through Monday. Low pressure system is going to move up the coastline a little bit more here, and maybe it'll include western Washington, Oregon, and just a general thunderstorm threat tomorrow. We'll see how this trends on into tomorrow's forecast as well. It's really not that strong of a signal right now. This is looking at total snowfall in inches. This is this morning's run here, and you can see the higher terrain is going to be favored, kind of showing this little band coming across here, but I do not expect lowland snow accumulations across any of the western Washington areas as we go on in through tonight and on into tomorrow. Maybe for eastern Washington, however, whatsoever. This is Oregon. You can see the upper level lows over top of them, bringing some better snowfall amounts for the higher terrain. And there's, again, some of the valley snowfall could fall here over the next couple of days across eastern Oregon, where temperatures are colder here, especially where this upper level low is located. This is Idaho and Montana as well. You can see the higher terrain is going to be favored almost as always, and the valley not expecting much in the way of measurable snowfall here over the next couple of days. Now, looking out a little bit here, this is the Gulf of Alaska. There's BC, Washington, Oregon. You can see 2-meter temperature anomalies. So basically, it's a surface temperature, and you can see we're much colder than normal here across British Columbia, and colder than normal here across Pacific Northwest as well. If we march this out, this is this morning's GFS, by the way, 4 a.m., hot off the presses. We go out, you can see we're now marching out there a little bit there. Here we are, March 10th, 9th, 11th, and you can see that we're not really warming up too much. So it's not a big warm-up signal coming up here, folks. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up too much yet. As you can see, going through mid-March, Northwest North America looks to stay below average here. Sorry about that. I'm crossing my fingers we get some kind of warm-up and some nice spring weather here too, but it's not looking too good right now. We'll continue to watch this day by day and just hope for some drastic change if you're a spring weather lover. Now, here's Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. You can see that little bit of a warm-up here as we go through next week, and possibly coming up here with maybe some temperatures up into the 50s. There will probably feel a little bit balmy since we've been dealing with such cold weather here for the last few weeks. This is Portland International Airport. Similar trend here. Spokane, similar trend here as well. And watch out overnight into the early morning hours. You get that thawing and then refreezing cycle across some of the roadways out there. So heads up for that. This is Seattle-Tacoma. Not expecting any lowland snowfall right now, but this just kind of showing you, if you look at these ensemble runs here, this is just kind of noise right now. This is not going to be accumulating at SeaTac here over the next few days. It doesn't look like it anyway as of right now. This is Yakima. A little better chance through eastern Washington, though. You could get a couple inches out there, especially towards the east slopes of the Cascades, and then there's going to be another shot maybe next weekend as well. So we'll watch that for places east of the Cascades mainly. This is avalanche danger here. We do have some considerable across the region here, mainly moderate across some of the backcountry for Oregon, but I would, check before you go out first, definitely. Now look at 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. You can see much of the lower 48 locked in below normal temperatures as we go through mid-March coming up here. This is 8 to 14 day, and a lot of the East Coast is covered there as well. And it kind of keeps us chilly here across Pacific Northwest as we go through mid-March. This is the precipitation outlook, so it's keeping us above average through mid-March here as well. Kind of bullseye Oregon a little bit better, and the 8 to 14 day through March 18th is shown there. This was put out a couple days ago. This is weeks 3 to 4 precipitation. You can see us here in the Pacific Northwest almost perfectly encapsulated in the above average odds there for precipitation. So yeah, man, we're dealing with upper level low here. Hopefully you can enjoy those sun breaks while they're out there. I had a pretty frosty morning with some clearing skies overnight last night here at my house. It was pretty darn chilly. And yeah, you can see these little low pressures spinning around there. Wouldn't rule out the possibility of a lightning strike or two over the next couple of days. We'll watch that. And again, tomorrow's looks like we're going to have this another low pressure system moving up the coastline here to include western Washington a bit more tomorrow. But there's additional rounds of snowfall possible coming up across places east of the Cascades as well. And of course, across the higher terrain, anything that falls will be in the form of snow. And you may see some snowflakes flying across some of the lower elevations of western Washington, Oregon coming up here. But I don't expect lowland accumulations, down below 500 feet for the most part. So anyway, yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the weekend here. We'll continue to watch this coming up. I'm probably going to be working on a video with the Madden-Julian oscillation. And I'll try to break it down into layman's terms just so you can have a general idea what's going on when you hear somebody talking about the Madden-Julian oscillation. I get some questions about that once in a while too. On social media, you hear people chatting about it and how it affects weather downstream and across the globe. So I'll look at that a little bit, and I'll try to break it down for everybody so we can understand it a little bit better. And we'll probably look at La Nina here in a day or two as well and get some updates going on that. I think they will be updating that tomorrow. So probably by tomorrow or Tuesday, we'll talk a little bit more about La Nina and how it's doing compared to the forecasts over the past few months. So yeah, got that to look forward to here. And yeah, hope you guys are having a good day. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I'll talk to you guys then.